nation, walking with an aim, building the tri-island state with all contest. Bind all the nation together, that's the only way we will make progress. Don't follow the rest, don't follow the rest. Let them realize that we are the best. We are a party to reign. We moving on, we striving on, we working on, not another domain. We are a party to reign. We moving on, we striving on, we working on, not another domain. We held hands together through the roughest path, and the strong will stand firm, the weak fall apart. That's how you will know your weak link. Then stumbling blocks standing in your way. Tell Tillman I say, tell Banfield I say, we are the party that come here to stay. We are a party to reign. We moving on, we striving on, we working on, not another domain. We are a party to reign. We moving on, we striving on, we working on, not another domain. We are a party to reign. We moving on. We are a party to reign. We moving on.
We live in a time when the rulers of men are scornful of principles of godliness, wisdom, and freedom. But woe, 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 woe comes slavery, man. But woe, 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 woe comes quickly. Yes, they use and abuse women. They raise no children. They live a life of wicked thoughts, corruption, embarrassment, and shame. So in order to maintain power against the very forces of nature, they need to have the citizens living in fear. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for woe comes suddenly. Nice and just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men come to soon to come to an end. I sing, but mine, because all men know that no man knows the hour. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for will come suddenly. I see, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so through the evil works of evil men bound to soon to come to an end. I sing, bye. I sing. In life and in the Bible, they have seen the fall of men of evil. They never learn, they believe they are in the next level. But woe comes swiftly. Man, woe comes quickly. Yes, but the days are numbered, all the deeds are known. Their hate, their division, the anger, the poverty they have sown. But it's coming to harvest day, when the oppressed will have their say, when all those who hurt my people will have to pay. Man, but be not afraid, for fear is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for will come suddenly. I sing, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so through the evil works of evil men bound to soon to come to an end. I sing, bye-bye.
NMP, St. George's to St. Andrews, St. Patrick's to St. David's. Shanty Melton, Mount Craven, La Moque, St. Mark. We're on the road. NMP on the road. NMP guide us. We're on the road. Go tell our enemies. NMP on the road. NMP guide us. We on the road, yeah. NMP guide us. Be our guidance. Take intercession for us. Hey, NMP guide us. Be our guidance. And this you can never stop us. We're on the road. We're on the road. NMP on the road. We're on the road. NMP guide us. We're on the road. Go tell our enemies. NMP on the road. NMP guide us. We on every time they pay. They say we send a spy, but just to put a boy in jail. But then it be higher than high. We don't mix up in a that. Tell them boys them a rat. NMP is standing on the rock. Hey, we're on the road. NMP on the road.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petty Martinique. The rest of the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you're listening, locally, regionally, internationally, outer, internationally.
NMP on the rock. NMP guy.
Yes, indeed, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I will be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Well, at least the 10 o'clock hour.
Tell them be careful, cause the house is
Saying a special good night to all the listeners listening via the various mediums. Those of you listening via We Noise Radio. Those of you listening via We Noise TV, yeah? Those of you on the YouTube, those of you on the Facebook, we say a special good night to each and every one of you. Yeah, all of you that are locked in.
NMP guide us. We're on the road. Go tell our enemy.
Yeah, I think we're going to take one more as we get ready to get into it. It's now 13 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock.
NMP guide us. We're on the road, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, let me take one more. Let me see which one I got here.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the NMP. We are the NMP. We are the NMP. We are the NMP. We did that in Shida is our. Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour. That is why we bring him back Jonah.
One person was just telling me they're not getting me there, like I cut off, but I just checked the stream myself and I'm on, so I'm not sure what is taking place with my good friend there. Everything seems to be all well and okay on my end, except that I'm feeling a bit fluish. Yeah. Since last night I realized, yeah, that's why I've been drinking my tea and them kind of thing, you know. I realize it's trying to take me. It's trying its very best, yeah? But you know it had to come strong to take Scotty down, eh? Understand that, eh? Nice, yeah. You know it had to come strong.
We are the NMP. Oh, you mean? We are the NMP. Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour. That is why we bring him back Jonah. We will deliver.
That's in this instance, that is why we're bringing back Emma. Yeah, we're changing the song. That is why we're bringing back Emma. Yes, indeed. Nah, not that one. We ain't bringing back that one at all, nah.
Who again? Clifton, Boeing, Alexandra.
We're bringing back Skeeter. Yeah, that's who we're bringing back. And Alvin Dabrio, my brother.
We are the NMP. Oh, you mean? We are the NMP.
So once again, saying a special good night to those of you joining us on the Talking Points. Let me say a special good night to Camille Teresa Scott. It was beyond my control. I could not get to town this evening.
That is why we bring him back Jonah. We will deliver. We will deliver.
MF, don't worry. I'll go deal with that scene in the morning, please the Lord. I must go down in the morning, please the Lord, yeah?
We are the NMP. Oh, you mean? We are the NMP. We are the NMP. We did that in Shida is our. Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see every.
Remember, folks, you've just got 2 days. Well, some people saying it's not 40. You've got 2 days remaining to make your submissions to the Parliamentary Electoral Office as to any names that are suspicious, that need to come off the list. There is a procedure, but you can't wait until the final day. So over the weekend, as you may have the time tomorrow and on Sunday, take the time to go over the voters' addendum list that has been placed in your area and identify the people who are on that list. You know, they have them by some shops, they have them by post offices and health centers and so on. Long ago when we had those things, they used to have them by the phone booth too. We do have phone booth and thing again. Them thing gone out of style. We do have that, right? But make sure that you take the opportunity and that you go around and that you check the voters list. You should know the people who live in your area. So you should be able to identify that this person is a bona fide resident of this community, or this person, Mr. Blagovich. Yes, you might see some Blagovich and Ramdam Bamavich and all kind of thing. Yeah. Try and identify them. Find out who they is. Because they are electors. That one vote might be the difference. I often made the mistake and said St. Patrick East. That electoral contest in 1972 was in St. Patrick West, where Dr. Wellington Friday defeated Winston White by 1 vote. Yeah, who know, it might have been one person that really should have been over in the East, you know. And that person registered in the West and was allowed to vote in the West. And as such, that person caused Mr. Winston White to lose. So we have to be careful. We have to, those of you in St. Patrick who are listening, you all have to make sure that the people that are registered, you may know them, but you know where the boundaries are. So you will have to check to make sure that I am seeing this name and that person is correctly registered in the correct St. Patrick. Not just that they're in St. Patrick. If they are from St. Patrick East, they should be registered in St. Patrick East. If they're in St. Patrick West, they need to be registered in St. Patrick West. Wherever they are from, that is where they need to be registered. Because you're taking a chance now with a group of individuals who, if they recognize, or not if, but when they recognize that they are going to lose both St. Patrick seats, may try to fiddle and fizzle with the vote to try to save one or the other. They know they can't save the two, so they may try to sacrifice one candidate to save the other one. And you may see people right on the border being the people that do that deed. So be very careful. Because you know there are certain villages, there are certain areas in St. Patrick that the road or the river is the demarcation, the bridge is the demarcation between east and west. And as such, you must make sure that who are to be in the east, who are to be in the west in the west. Those of you in St. Andrew, same situation. They know that they have no chance of winning any of the seats in St. Andrew. What they may try to do to give themselves a chance is to sacrifice 2 of the seats and try to shift votes into the other seats that they may consider marginal in a sense to try and win those seats. So you have to be sure that who has been placed on that addendum for your constituency, that those people are the proper people that should be on the list. And we have to be careful, because not doing this now is going to affect us later down if we don't do it and we don't do it properly. So we have to do it proper now. Because when the final list for election comes out, the final voters list for election, remember, election is you get more votes in the box, more legal votes in the box than the other person. Yeah, you have to get more votes into the box than the other person. Everybody starts on 0 election morning. But if you do not take the time and go through the voters list properly and make sure that who is there has a constitutional right to be there, you may not like them, you may say they're supporting the other party, but they may have the constitutional and legal right to be registered as a voter. That is okay. But there are some who might be supporting the other party and have no right to be registered in your constituency, but coming over there to make a decision for you. So those of you in St. Andrew, you have to make sure that the people you're seeing there, and people that have the same name, so you have to verify that information and make sure it's the correct person. You have to do that. We must keep on top of the voters list. The same way we must keep on top of ensuring that each of us, we are now in the month of April. So we had the 12 from last year plus 4. So each of us have to make sure that by this time, we've already convinced at least 16 new people. People who did not support the NNP before, they may have supported the NDC, or they are first-time voters. We have to ensure that we get those folks to be supporting the new National Party and be ready to vote when election comes. We also have to look at those who stayed away from the poll the last time around. So people who you know voted NNP, they voted NNP in 2013, 2018, and they did not go to vote in 2022. You need to be speaking to them. I need to be speaking to them. We need to be speaking to them and encouraging them, because their staying away has helped place Grenada into the precarious situation that we are in right now. So we have to make sure that we do what is necessary to get all our voters out. And we have to make sure that people who should not be on the list are taken off the list. I may sound like a broken record. I don't mind. I may sound annoying with it. I don't mind. I may sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I very well know what I'm talking about. We have to be careful. Because I'll tell you this. The final list that will come out before the elections, that final consolidated list of all the people who will be allowed to vote on election day, when that comes out, even if you go and you make a declaration at that point in time and say we have these 50 people that should not be on the list, those 50 people voting still, you know. I guarantee you that. Because the electoral office will not have enough time between the publication of that final list and election day to go through the full process to have those folks removed from the list and do a next list. So you have to do that now. You have to make sure that those folks who should not be there come off the list now. And you have to make sure that they know that you're being vigilant with that list. For the last 3 years, they've been telling their people, get registered, get registered, get registered, get registered. So we have to make sure that not only that our people are registered, and again, if that situation continues, maybe I myself may have to go to a lawyer and file a constitutional motion in relation to people not being able to register in Carriacou, in St. Mark and St. David. If that situation continues, I don't know if it is the situation at this point in time. I don't know if it continues. But if that situation continues, I may very well have to be one of the people that goes and say, no, this can't happen. We need to put an end to this. Folks, the price of petroleum is supposed to be changing today. Tomorrow being the 18th, we expect that that information would come out today. But it seems as though they're afraid talking points, so they don't want to put out the fact that the price of fuel most likely gone up again. So they're not putting it out today. It seems it's already after 8:30, nearly 8:30 now, and they've not put it out yet. I'm looking out for it, but I have not seen that yet. So it seems as though they they're afraid to talk on that one. But yeah. They're afraid to talk on that one. All right? Yeah. Then today, folks, I saw all kind of Mawet. If you see Mawet today, Papa, yo. If you see Mawet today, they run and go. They run and go to go and see how they could. Yeah, let me show you a little piece, man. Let me show you a little piece of what I'm talking about here. Yeah, let me show you a little piece about what I'm talking about here, man.
Mabuya Road.
We are live from Mabuya Road, everyone. Happy Friday. For me, it is indeed a great and happy Friday. As you guys can see, we have over officially started work on the Maboya Road. It has been one of the biggest campaign promises and projects of mine. And so I want to place on record my thanks and my appreciation to the Minister, the Prime Minister himself, Minister for Infrastructure, and by extension...
Folks, just remember, this is the Member of Parliament for St. John. Yeah, and she's singing her own praises in relation to work taking place in Maboya. Those of you may know Maboya as where we say the road collapses just before you enter Guelph. Right.
And the construction company, for coming on board and doing this for you, the constituents of St. John, and by extension, the entire West Coast. So we are on site this afternoon, just observing what has been happening so far, observing how far that they have gone in terms of making sure they do the preliminary work in terms of clearance and digging and so. So come along with me as I take you along live and direct from Maboya.
Yeah, folks, so the work is taking place in Maboya there, as you can see. And she's saying it's not a political thing. Yeah? She's saying it's not a political thing. But remember, you are not stupid. You know what's taking place there. She realizes that she will not be winning the seat and she's trying her very best. They couldn't change her as a candidate. There was a full intention to remove her as the candidate. After they did the poll, they realized the person they wanted to change her with, that individual would lose worse than she would lose. But that both of them would lose. But that person would lose worse than she would lose. And therefore they've had to retain her as the candidate for the constituency of St. John as at this time. So she's trying now to bamboozle the people of St. John that, hey, look, we're fixing the Maboya Road. But I'll explain something in a short while in relation to that.
As Parliament, as parliamentary representatives, to ensuring that we leave our mark, we leave our legacy, and ensuring that whenever we do, it is not to gain no political mileage, but to ensure that the constituents and the residents are better off than we found them. We want to say thanks to all of the parliamentary reps before my time who came and who did temporary fixes to help solve the problem and help ameliorate and eliminate the burden on our residents here and some of the motorists that use this road. But we are no longer in the game of putting plasters on.
And you see, that's just the nonsense that I want to speak about there. Folks, the impression that was given today is that only temporary fixes were put in place for the Maboya Road, which is absolutely false. The Maboya Road was fixed back, that would have been in the late 1990s, early 2000s, somewhere around there, when the Western Main Road was done. Yeah? There was a collapse on that part of the road because from my friends who are engineers, etc., and call I got to hold on. Yeah, my friends who are engineers, etc., they stated that that particular area, there's a fault line. And if you understand land and geothermal, not geothermal, but geology and so on, you'll understand what a fault line is. A fault line is basically like a crack in the soil, a crack in the land. So the land is moving in that particular area. So you could not simply just say, okay, we're going to just do what they're doing now and run and they put up this. There has to be proper engineering behind what has to be done. During the period of the New National Party, that road was reopened. So a temporary fix was put in place, but with the intention of a permanent fix to come. Who lost the money for the permanent fix? The NDC administration of 2022. The Maboya Road, that area, was part of the Western Main Road project. In fact, the only thing that was later removed as a component of the Western Main Road project was the Molyneux Bridge. But other than that, the Maboya area, a permanent fix to that area, was to be part of the Western Main Road project. That project that had to run from Greenbridge by the stadium there right up to the St. Mark Secondary School. So let me repeat that. The Western Main Road project that was funded by the British government, that they gave the money for, they were giving the money for grant funding that was lost by this incompetent government, not by the NNP administration. They gave the money. We secured the money. The money was given to the NNP. In other words, it was secured. They didn't actually give you the cash, but they said, okay, when you're ready, we give you this amount for that part of the project, that amount for that part of the project. So the money was secured by the NNP. But when the British realized you had a change in government, not government at that time, you had a change in prime ministers. In fact, you were down probably about 4 prime ministers in, because you had David Cameron, and then you had Boris, and then you had the 2 females. And I think at that time you were on the second female, so it was about 3 prime ministers in. And at that point in time, the British said, hey, we're not going to be spending our money overseas. So they looked for any opportunity to recall their money. Now, had it been the New National Party, all of us in the NNP had friends in the British government at that point in time. Notice I said friends, not associates, not just people that you meet once. Or we had friends within the British government that you could have called to secure that particular project. If they decided, well, hey, all you're a bit behind on implementation. And in fact, they had no problem with the NNP at that point in time, because they understood the reason that you did not implement at a specific time was because of COVID-19. So the year 2020 had to be scratched out. That year had to be scratched out, because you could not do any such project in the year 2020. Even if it started in January, February, by March, place lockdown. That was it. 2021, you were just coming out of COVID, and then we ended up, within the middle to later part of the year, we ended up having to go back into lockdowns and all these things again, when we had all these people dying after what some folks did in August. And who could want to believe, as much as they want to believe, that that didn't cause what happened? It caused it. Just accept it and let's move on. Yeah? So you had that situation that took place. So the project was not implemented at the time that was agreed, before a thing called COVID-19 came about. They want you to forget there was something called COVID-19. So you moved on with that particular project, and the government changed in 2022. So that government, because it was this particular Western Main Road project was spoken about in the budget for the year 2022. The budget was read in 2021 by the New National Party administration in December of that year, and it mentioned the 24-month period in which certain projects would be taking place. And that was one of the projects that was slated to start in that period of time. The NDC came in, stalled everything, stopped everything, went and meet the people out there in Barbados. I hear they sent Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and they lost the funding for the project. That was the funding to do the Maboya Road that would have been properly done and motorable by now, had you had an NNP government in place. So when they come like this, some massive achievement that they're going and they're doing some work on Maboya right now and they're scraping the thing, where is the engineering plan that is going to address the landslip? I'd love to see it, because it seemed to me as some people just rushing there and just doing a thing, because they find election close, election coming. When I say election close, as in election will be soon, so they run in to do something they know. Yeah, that is my humble view in relation to the whole thing. And of course, Reno, you know Reno, man. Reno go around and tell all you, go and do thing, man. He go say do thing, because of course he's going to benefit financially, and the belief is that you all will benefit politically. So don't tell us it's not politics.
To us, come. They're in here in the beginning.
Hi, people on the live. Hello to my constituents. Hi. Mr. Rene, want to come and say hi on my live?
Sure, of course.
So we are here in Maboya. This is the man that is doing this big job here, Mabuya Road. Mr. Reno, over to you.
Yeah, Minister been after us for over 2 years now, but because of the paperwork and following protocol, it was kind of difficult, but we're here now, and she's happy to get it moving, and I'm happy to get it done for her. I think the people of this constituency is going to be happy in a very short space of time.
Indeed.
And
Oh, the people of the constituency, yeah? And it's not political. Are you talking about the people of the constituency, sir?
difficult, but we're here now, and she's happy to get it moving, and I'm happy to get it done for her. I think the people of this constituency is going to be happy in a very short space of time.
Indeed.
And she would have delivered on a promise I think she made to them.
Right. So this is another example of things happening one project at a time. We're coming to you, we're servicing, and we're fulfilling all of our campaign promises. So it's unfortunate that it took a long time, but nevertheless, time delayed is not denied, and everything is always on God's timing. So if that's how the Lord has meant it for it to be, so shall it be done, and it will be done well. So things are indeed happening.
It will be done well. Okay, all right. I'll speak to some civil engineers. We're going to see if it will be done well. Yeah, we'll see if it will be done well. So that was today, folks. That's the minister speaking about that particular project and how that project is. Yeah, you understand? Yes, indeed, folks. That is the minister speaking about that particular project. But let me say something here. You know, and let's take this call. Let me see. Yeah, let me take this call here. Hello, good night. Hi, good night.
No, Kieran is laughable. Lord have mercy. That is not true what Kieran. The road mash up bad and the thing sinking. How could take this man and come and say, Mr. W had fixed that road, you know? And it's NDC who blocked it when they came in power.
Yes.
So what the hell is she talking about? Oh my goodness, Jesus.
Yes, you're correct. Yes, indeed. And I didn't open the phone lines here. Don't call all yet, because I know some people, for the time they get a call, they want to call. No, don't call yet. I'm going to tell all you when to call. No, because certain things were said there that was absolute nonsense. Yeah, about road being closed. Well, let me see.
He probably crossed that, you know. And from what all you could see over there,
I'm trying to find a bit here. Where there are people saying that...
I wasn't looking at the call. It's me.
Claiming that the road has been closed for 28 years. Come on, please. The road has not been closed for 28 years. Yeah? You all, your NDCs who closed the road. The road was motorable. You could have passed. It wasn't the best road, but you could have passed there. And you all are the ones that come back and close the road. So don't come and give the impression. I mean, the person was speaking on the live. I know, right? That person, I don't think they're from Grenada. They're probably from some other island. They bring them in. Probably they bring them in with Reno and them from St. Lucia. They can't be Grenadian because they know what they're talking about. Just talking a pile of gubar. Yeah? A pile of gubar. Maje. Yeah, speaking Hindi and Patois tonight. Yeah? C'est a manger. Anyway. Wonder if they're talking here. Let me see if they're talking.
He said, I know.
Anyway, yeah, well, we have the video. You can take it down now if all you want to. We have the video. Or you can take it down if all you want now. You understand? And folks, you know, it's interesting, huh? Because I recognize that this government is trying to push you away from certain issues and focus on others. One of the main platforms that the NDC was voted into office on was the 500 houses a year. After the election, that promise started to turn into 500 houses for the term. During the election, it was 500 houses a year. At one stage, at one meeting, it became 500 houses per constituency because they're lying. I mean, they're desperate for the vote. We are in the year 2026. They came into office in the year 2022. And you ain't had no 500 houses under no Project 500. In fact, and I think a lot of folks may not know this, there was a pre-existing project taking place in Dunfermline where they were building 16 houses. Note carefully what I'm saying. 16 houses, different styles, were being constructed in Dunfermline. To be able to say that they're doing something for Project 500 and the 9 million that they got in the first year and the 6 million or so they got in the second year, to be able to say that they were doing something, they took over that project that was being done in Dunfermline, which had nothing to do with Project 500 or any 500 houses. It was pre-existing under the New National Party. They took that over and said that was part of Project 500. That is where you're going to be, they're going to be doing the houses and so for Project 500. Because the story regarding Project 500, and in fact, even if I dare go to the Stony Gut, you all may have heard of the Stony Gut housing project. Now remember, one of the promises of the New National Party was to complete that Stony Gut housing project in St. John. St. John has never had a housing development done in the sense of like how you have Frequente, yeah, and you have the River Road housing scheme, Frequente housing scheme, you have the Mount Gay housing scheme, etc. St. John, by and large, has never had a housing scheme at that level. The intention of the New National Party and the lands were secured for that project in Stony Gut in St. John. The drawings, I have them somewhere here and I'm going to find them before the night ends because I know I have it, just which computer I have it on. But the lands, everything for that was put in place. Right? What did you have happening? The NDC said they're going to do the project and they came in. In fact, let's go to the first budget presentation of the NDC. Let's go to the first budget presentation that they did. And let's see about the Project 500 and Stony Gut. Since we talk a little bit about St. John tonight. Last night we was on Karaku. Karaku, I forget all you know. We have a lot more to say. But let's go on to St. John.
The housing deficit is vast, and many families remain in urgent need of support. Our commitment to affordable housing. Our commitment in this term, Mr. Speaker, is to deliver 500 high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style houses.
So realize how the 500 houses per constituency changed to 500 houses in total. You all know during the election campaign, what was said was 500 Grenadian-style homes per constituency at one time and per year at another time. Now it's become now, and this was, look again, budget presentation December 5th, 2022. At that point in time, the Prime Minister was the Minister of Finance. So he was reading the budget speech at that point in time. So realize how the story, as soon as they got in office, the story started to change.
Is to deliver 500 high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style houses. Two major initiatives in this budget cycle include: 1. The Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John.
What project, Mr. Prime Minister? I don't think we heard that one. Where? What project is that?
Grenadian-style houses. Two major initiatives in this budget cycle include: 1. The Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John. Construction is expected to start in 2023, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, so construction of those houses in Stony Gut was supposed to start in 2023. What year are we in again? 2026? Okay, 2026. But again, let me hear. Cammy, you could hide your face. Yeah, we know you can't take it here.
Canadian style houses. Two major initiatives in this budget cycle include: one, the Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John. Construction is expected to start in 2023, Mr. Speaker, and $2.5 million has been budgeted. Mr. Speaker, government will identify and secure lands in all parishes to roll out these houses.
So government would secure lands in all parishes. All you hear anything about that? Have lands been secured? I hear about people being put off land, and that's another story for another time. I ain't, believe me, I really ain't getting into that one right now. But have lands been secured different places for these housing projects and so on? It has morphed into, if you have your land, you won't get a house now. Not that we will find land to do these houses and so. So again, one more time, because we don't want them to say that we lie. So that's why I just play it over and over so that you all will hear for yourselves, yeah?
Our commitment to affordable housing. Our commitment in this term, Mr. Speaker, is to deliver 500 high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style houses. Two major initiatives in this budget cycle include: one, the Stony Gut Climate Resilient Housing Development Pilot Project, which aims to construct modern, high-quality, climate-resilient Grenadian-style homes in Stony Gut in the parish of St. John. Construction is expected to start in 2023, Mr. Speaker, and $2.5 million has been budgeted.
So $2.5 million was budgeted for that Stony Gut project, isn't it? Yeah, so they had money. Whatever happened to that money? Because we ain't seen Stony, we ain't seen Gut, we ain't seen project, we ain't seen house. We ain't seen nothing. So what has happened to that? What has happened to that? Because all of a sudden, I recognize that by the following year, references to that Stony Gut project kind of ended, you know, because they want you to forget about these things. People of St. John, those of you that taking a look at kubusa by somebody because you can't get your own place, those of you who want to come out of renting and owning your own property, those of you who have had various things happen and needed a place that you could move to, or you want to settle down for life and have your own proper place away from mommy and daddy and so on. By now, if Alvin Dabrio and the New National Party had been in government, you, yes you, would have had the opportunity to have a home in Stony Gut. By now it would have finished. Instead of hearing stories by incompetent people as to reasons why it cannot be done, the team that gets it done would have made sure that that was done by now.
Speaker, with regards to the housing, yes, it was a plan of the past administration, Mr. Speaker, but the Stony Gut housing that was planned then has been transformed. And so, very soon, the people of St. John will have a climate-resilient housing development of 30 Grenadian-style family homes in St. John.
Just remember, folks, this was a promise made in December of 2022. We in 2026 now. Very soon, the project has been transformed. Very soon, the people of St. John will have... Let me go back, man. Don't take my word for it. Hear them talk. That's why they don't like me, you know. I like to make sure you could hear them talking.
Housing. Yes, it was a plan of the past administration, Mr. Speaker. But the Stony Gut housing that was planned then has been transformed. And so, very soon, the people of St. John will have a climate resilient housing development of 30 Grenadian style family homes in St. John.
Anybody in St. John want to tell me exactly where those homes are? Don't call yet. I will tell you when to call. Don't call yet. All right, I will tell you when to call. But I want to know where those 30 Grenadian style homes are in St. John. The homes that were supposed to have built in Stony Gut. The homes that money was put aside for to start the construction. Yeah, 2.5 can't build the 30 homes. We know that. But that's infrastructural. And that it was promised that that work would have started in 2023. So can anyone in St. John, and I will give you the opportunity to call in a while, tell us whatever take place with that project, because all of a sudden, all your MP had nothing to say about that, you know. She wanted to talk about the Maboya Road. The Maboya Road that they lose the funding from. That they now have to go and find money to pay Reno. And from what Tong say, school children say that when they pay that particular contractor, that money getting filtered back to the NDC administration. That is what children say. I don't know. That is the allegation. That when they pay certain contractors, money being sent back to the NDC for campaign. So that if a company gain 10 million, you could tell that the NDC might be getting a 500,000 or a million. That is what Tong people say. That is what children say. I don't know. I asking. If that is true, let me find out. We had to ask a direct question. Not that they would ever admit it, but we had to ask a direct question. Because that same Maboya project there would have been done and the Grenadian people would not have had to spend any money on it because it was grant funding from the UK that the NDC administration went and lose. Go and send two incompetent people to go and think. I know the full story, you know. I know who went, I know who watched. Sometimes something's good to say is good to keep it, yeah.
Mr. Speaker, when we got into office, we had over 71 applications and so for housing needs, bathroom and toilet needs, Mr. Speaker. We are currently in the process of going out in the field.
And folks, some of them 71 people still waiting up to this day, the 17th of April 2026, because I know some of the people. Many of those people still waiting to this day. You know why? Because they probably had one of these on their hand. Or they were probably seen wearing a green t-shirt going to rally and so on. Many of them are still sitting there waiting. I ain't saying all of them, but many of these people since 2022 are still waiting up to this day. Meanwhile, other Bogolops people who does be walking in the shadow of the minister, they get whole house, do door, window, everything. They get place rebuilt. Full house. While other people been waiting since 2022. Tell me a lie. Let's start to show picture of them, please.
To see if these people are really in need.
Oh, you wanted to see if the people really in need? You wanted to see if the people really in need? Okay. To be in need means that you have to be a NDC, yeah? That is what they mean by they have to see if these people really in need. Yeah.
Really in need. What we have been able to observe, Mr. Speaker, is that while our measures now put in place for us to have one standard shape, one standard size of housing or bathroom and toilet, we realize some of our people who are amputee, they may not be able to have that access because if they add a ramp, it brings up the cost. Sometimes it goes beyond the allocated budget. And so we are trying to ensure that whatever...
Yeah, right. Yes, sir, folks. Yes, indeed, folks. So understand what they're trying to do. They don't want the people of St. John. They don't want those of you in Black Bay, in Florida. Those of you in Woodford. They don't want those of you. Because if you were in Woodford and they had done the housing project, at least they could have given you the option to move over to the Stony Gut area, you know. Yeah, at least they could have given you that option, but you have no option now but to stay down by where they go in and do the quarry and the cement and the asphalt and everything, and take the smoke, the dust, the noise, the damaged roads, everything that's coming with that. You are to stay there and take it. Yeah? At least if they had done that project, they could have said, well, okay, we are going to shift you to that location. So those of you on the lands in Guav who may have wanted your own home, you want to move out from the lands, you want your own home, where those houses that should be in Stony Gut? Those of you in Power Pack, yeah, Cloger, those of you in Florida, in Loreto, those of you in Grand Roy, where the houses that all ain't getting them, all ain't getting to go there. Those of you in the part of Maran that in St. John, place in there, Dr. Bell, where are the place that you would have been able to get the opportunity to go to? But that's the kind of representation that you all have. Representation who would make statements like, let me find a statement they make, man. Yeah, not big dogs, man. Let me find a next statement that does make and thing. Let me hear this particular one.
Shame. And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status.
Yeah? Oh yeah? Let me hear that again.
Shame. And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status.
Yeah, man, jump plane, fly, go all kind of place, diplomatic passport, man. You don't even have to go through the line. Yeah, fly, flight attendant, yeah, man, plane, left, right. What benefits have come back for the people of St. John?
And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status.
And they're saying it nice and proud, and they're happy to say that, boy. I wanted to come just as a flight attendant for a taking plane. I like a flight attendant now, boy. Yeah. But then, folks, the story regarding the Stony Gut project changed. After they say they go in and start and they go in and build, when they realize they can't build because they're incompetent and they can't do the job that they're supposed to do, by the 2024 budget, the story in relation to Stony Gut changed. And here's what it changed to.
Just want to zoom in on Project 500. There's an allocation of $5 million. $5 million. We could have been a little more advanced with Project 500. We've done some modeling and have some designs and all of that. And just about to get things started in 2023, we learned that the previous administration, in a desperate attempt to cling on to power, sold some of the lots. And so we just have to change our mind from Stony Gut and divert our attention elsewhere.
And that, my friends, is a lie. The lands in Stony Gut that the government secured for that project are still in the hands of this NDC administration. And they want to go and acquire lands on the beachfront in Hillsborough, and they're acquiring lands all over the place. So even if that was the case, which it is not, so I don't even want to go down that road because it is not the case, the minister is lying. The lands were not sold. So you going to promise that you're going and do a housing project and they'll sell the lands that you're going and do the housing project on? That is a lie. The lands are still in the hands of the government of Grenada. Yeah? They are still in the hands of the government of Grenada. And as such, the project should have been completed by now. But not only that, the minister said, and you need to listen to him carefully, he said that they forget about Stony Gut. So those lands, they have been abandoned as far as this administration is concerned, and they find lands elsewhere to do the project, but the project still is not done. Remember, in 2022, when you heard the 2023 budget presentation, it was we're going to start in 2023. Now in 2023 for the 2024 budget presentation is we was going and start but government had sold the lands. So what were you going to start in 2023? You see how these people has lie.
We've done some modeling and have some designs and all of that. And just about to get things started in 2023, we learned that the previous administration, in a desperate attempt to cling on to power, sold some of the lots. And so we just have to change our mind from Stony Gut and divert our attention elsewhere. And so we've started the process of, well, we have been able to secure some lands, and so we are going to start the project elsewhere.
So they have got the lands and they will be starting the project elsewhere. That was in the year 2023 for the 2024 budget cycle. People of St. John, and I will open the phone lines in a while, not yet. And I'm talking here to the people of St. John. People of St. Mark and St. Patrick, because you passing through as well. Where they build them 30 house? That's since 2023, and we in 2026 now, 3 years later. And they're supposed to have built these 30 houses. Emlyn Pierre, as the Minister of Youth and Sport, was able to build a whole national stadium in just around 24 months, or a little over 24 months or so. Scrap what was there, start from the bottom up and build a whole, what they're using right now for intercall, and they could call people and say we taking Carifta and all kind of thing. Emlyn Pierre led that and made sure that that was done. And when it was completed, Grenada got the highest certification possible for your athletic facility. You got tier 1, level 1 certification, the highest certification. That is why Grenada was able to attract people to things like the Grenada Invitational to come to Grenada, because they knew that the track that was there, the facility itself was world class, and they could come to Grenada and participate in an athletic meet in a world class facility. After they go and they redo the track, you realize you ain't hear nothing about what type of certification. Did they try to get certification? You understand what's going on with these people? They want to talk about Maboya. Tell us about Stony Gut. Go up there. Tell us about Stony Gut. That we want to hear now. Tell us about what is taking place with Stony Gut. Yeah? Tell us what's taking place with that.
Issues. In the area of housing, Project 500, Mr. Speaker, this flagship housing program will support the construction of 500 Grenada-style houses through leveraging private partnership. The Cabinet has given Housing Authority of Grenada the mandate to drive this program. An allocation of 9 million is provided for the acceleration of this program in 2024.
So Project 500 got 9 million in 2024. Yeah? $9 million in 2024. Let's see anything for that $9 million. No, I'm asking. Have we seen anything for that $9 million? Contractors have gone up to Dunfermline. They have done 17 houses. Yes, I did say 16 earlier, because under the new National Party, the project that was supposed to take place there was for 16 houses. The NDC came, and because they wanted to look like something new, they changed it from 16 and they just add one more house. They make it up to 17 to make it look like that's something new. And they fool a lot of people with it, because a lot of people in the diaspora, etc., a lot of people here in Grenada got fooled with this thing, thinking that, hey, look, these people and them, they're serious about the Project 500, they're doing this thing. Not understanding that all they were doing there was not a component of Project 500. It was something that the NNP was doing from before anyway, in Dunfermline, on those lots. So they use that now and say, hey, we're doing the Project 500 show houses there. That is what took place. So they got $9 million in 2024. Maybe the Project 500 unit, the Housing Authority of Grenada, or the present Minister of Housing, or the former Minister of Housing, or the Prime Minister, maybe they can tell us where the $9 million went to, because up to now, we do have project and we do have 500. We do have either one right now. Right? We don't have either at this point in time. That's the situation with these people. Yeah, folks, I'm going to take your calls now. 440-7377. You can call us on the WhatsApp. So 440-7377. Of course, 1473-440-7377. And 421-7279. You can give us a call right about now. Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of people saying, man.
Spider, skinny.
On the other day, everybody singing one song.
What they singing?
Election coming there, you know who they're voting for. You have a kind of chorus they were singing too.
Let me hear.
If NDC win again, we crying. If NDC win again, we balling. If NDC win again, we crying. If NDC win again, we balling. I know.
Me partner Tilly meet me, I tell you he vex like hell. He says Spider Grenade and go vote back Dr. Mitch.
You go vote Emlyn, yeah.
Till 5 years now you there, you don't have to vex. And Grenadian people are stupid, they know where to put the X and they singing no cookie eye. No cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye. No cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Instead of NDC walking to build the country.
And you know, folks, while they're talking about Maboya Road, you've had the problem up there in Cloger with the road still looking like, the road still looking like that. Let's take a call. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Clock it.
Clock it. Go right ahead, my dear.
Sheldon, I want to ask you a question. I see you all put up about the Stony Court house funding. So that $9 million now, where that money go?
Now they
because they start a project.
Before they said 2.5 million for Stony God. Then they said 9 million for Project 500. We ain't seen Stony God and we ain't seen Project 500. We ain't seen Project 9, much less Project 500.
Well, Sheldon, where is the money?
Them could answer. And they spent 22 million already on a hospital that didn't exist.
Well, Levi Darfur.
Well, I don't know who eat our food, but I'll tell you, it was. All I could say is like Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Oh yes, I don't know what's happening. No? I tell them already go and get ready to say, election is close. Grenadier and open all your eyes. Don't get fools. Don't get bombarded by these people and them promises, and they not do. You know what happened, Michelle? I listened to a man today. The man said, "Oh, NMP was there for 100 years, and they don't worry about NMP. I look see, I could do better when I look at there. Let me see the betterment I'm doing."
My friend, let me tell you what to tell them when they say that, though. The last 4 elections, who was in government for 2 out of 4 of them?
And this
exactly. So when they're making their statements about different things in the country and how it has not been done, remember, the last 4 elections, the NNP win 2, the NDC win 2. So if NNP has to take blame for things, the NDC has to take half of the blame as well, because they have been in office for half of the time. So the argument about who spent 20-something years and all is absolutely nonsense. It's just gubar.
You understand? So no matter vex when I hear somebody say, "Oh, Kid Michelle and do nothing." Watch, Grenadian. Grenadian do nothing. These people are the belly boy. They have the belly, Sheldon. Ungrateful is a cause. Ungratefulness is a cause. Oh, I like the Prime Minister. You like a man, you have to like a country. You can't like in a man, it's your country. You have to like, I listen to that man on the rally in Busheju. If he had no people, we never know people, so then the country divided. So you don't care about who vote for NMP, who vote for NDC. Look at see again them people with the land and thing they have to move 7 days to move. That is not nice, Sheldon.
And let me just say, when it comes to that situation, you cannot expect to just let people take up any piece of government land and live there. And I'm saying this because you're in opposition today, and in 2 months you could be in government. So right is right, wrong is wrong. We have to stick to that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Because again, you could be in government today, you could be in opposition today, but you're in government just a month from now. You could be in government. 21 days, you could be in government. And if they call the election, that will be the case. People should not just be allowed to just go and pick up any piece of government land and say that we're building a house here or so on. But at the same token, you're dealing with human beings.
Yes.
And if things like the Chinese housing project had been dealt with properly by this administration, they would have had an option to offer these folks to get them to remove from there. Instead of in the situation now where they have to operate heartless, and they don't have to, but they want to operate in a heartless way and say, we're taking these people out, just move. So if they go and live on the street, they take all the things and they put it in the middle of sugar mill and they say that is where we staying, the government ain't care. All they're saying is you have 7 days to get out and that sort of thing. And then to add insult to injury, you have the permanent secretary coming out and threatening the people now with, is it 3 months in jail or $1,000 fine or both? That if they don't move in the space of time, that they can be charged $1,000 in the court and or I think it's 3 months in jail, 2 or 3 months in jail that they can get as well. So you're threatening the people on top of it. I am not saying that the people are right. I'm not saying the people are right, because at the end of the day, remember, while we say government land, government is not the major landholder in Grenada. Government just has, and it was said in that what the permanent secretary said in his video is true. Government only has about 10% of the land in Grenada. The rest is privately owned land. Just about 10%. And the majority of that 10% is forest reserve. Granitang and those areas like St. David that you see forest hunting in those areas. It is forest reserve. That you can't really go and cut down to say you're going and do anything there, because your island will end up like some parts of Haiti. So you have limited amount of land. It cannot be that people just decide, and I will not honestly be one of the people that encourage people to just go and build anyway. I would not do that. But at the same token, you're talking about people here with babies. There are pregnant people involved in this and so on. And I'm saying that in those circumstances, if they had dealt with the Chinese houses in Bujeju in the proper way, the Chinese houses up on the west coast there in St. Mark and St. Patrick, if they had dealt with them in the proper way, they may have been able to say to these people, here's what, you're there illegally, but we are giving you an option. There are these apartments, we are giving you an option that you can move there. But how they're dealing with those places now, they have basically put these people out of that totally. So I'm just saying it as I see it. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying, they could get them 7 days. I don't know if they get nothing before. I don't know if they're getting before. But come on.
No, and 7 days, in my view, is unreasonable to ask a person to break a house, find a place, and go in 7 days. That's heartless. Yes, the law may say that.
Show any document and say that you have document for the land and whatever.
But the law may say that. It doesn't mean that you have to enforce it in that particular way. You're human beings, and they hold the reins of power. They can adjust the law. They could go to parliament and change the law. They could adjust it. The minister can adjust certain parts of the law without even going to parliament by issuing a SRO. SRO is like you issue a new order, regulation in relation to certain aspects of that. So the minister they don't need to go to parliament with it. They could do that before and issue the SRO.
Sometimes you know about that too. So you have to share land only when you speak. These people are not going to do things, you know. You don't realize that?
I will stop speak.
These people are not what attacking me.
7 days.
The minister
7 days is heartless. It's heartless. Remember, that is an area that, remember, the prime minister went when they do road up there, but the people probably thought the road was for them. They didn't realize that the prime minister and them had other ideas for other people. That is why they was making sure that the road was done and so on. So you
Yeah,
went
because
up
one of
there.
the things say that when they be the other people come and watch the land and all kind of stuff, and so
Uh-huh.
they occupy the land. It's sad though. It's sad for these people.
Yes, it is. It is very.
It's sad. It is sad. And Sheldon, I watched the clip with the minister for Guam with Mabuya Road. Sheldon, these people, something wrong with these people. Let me put my course. I wonder if these people have the right head. Something wrong with that minister for Guam, man. Something really wrong with these people and them. Something wrong with them. Sheldon, you have a wonderful night and keep up your good works and do what you have to custom doing. Have a blessed
indeed.
night.
Thank you so very much, my dear. And yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something there, man. I'm looking for something there. Yeah, I think that's the thing there, boy. Yeah, that's the thing there. Y'all remember this, boy? I wasn't here, so.
Cecile Lagrenade and Prime Minister Honorable Dickon Mitchell led a sword turning and monument unveiling on Monday, October 20th as part of National Heroes Day celebrations. The park.
And we won't come back to that. Let me take the phone call. Hello, good night.
Shalom, good night.
Good night, my dear. How are you?
I'm there, Shalom. How you do?
Good.
How's you do?
He's good. He dey relaxing.
Shalom. Okay, first of all, let me say good night to all the listeners of Talking Points who can just listen, Shalom. They cannot even come on the live to say good night.
No, they can't take that chance. No.
And they would not call. But I've met numerous of them, children, and all they're saying is that they're so glad for the various programs. They listen and they listen. And my advice to them is just continue listening. You don't have to call on the live to say anything. Just continue listening. Listen.
I also want them to spread the word. They could speak one-on-one to people.
Yeah.
Your neighbors, you speak to them as well. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not only that, but they have to be very careful as to who they speaking with, who they hold in discussion with, because we have some of them. We have some of them who going around pretending. We know that.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea.
Can you correct me if I'm wrong? I was not a clip you played. The first one with the Prime Minister, the 2023 budget.
2023, yes, you're correct.
When I said that the last for Stony Gut is there and 2.5 million have been allocated. Then Minister Telephone come after and say that the reason why they could not have gone ahead with the Stony Gut, and I'm paraphrasing here, the reason why they could not go ahead with the Stony Gut program, the Stony Gut program, is because he learned that the previous government, in an attempt to hold on to power before the election, sold the land. So my question is, he learned that. He learned the previous government sold the land. So when the Prime Minister made his proclamation that the Stony Gut program will come on stream in 2023, 2.5 million have been set aside, have been budgeted, allocated for that project. The Prime Minister himself wasn't aware that the previous government sold the land.
Because the land wasn't sold, they needed an excuse.
No. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Sharon, the Prime Minister said that the land has been secured. Mr.
Well,
Tellis for the
I don't
side
think
of the land.
to be honest, I don't think the Prime Minister said exactly that the land has been secured. I don't think he made that exact statement. But you
He
would,
didn't say that
you would,
exactly. I don't know if I'm
yeah.
paraphrasing. But the Prime Minister, in his proclamation, is that we have the land.
Mhm.
The land is there, and we're going to build on the land. The money is there to build.
Yeah, because
That's what I heard
he gave a starting period, when it would start
Yes,
as well.
exactly. So you cannot start it without a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot start it without a plan. He said he's going to start the project. Then we have Mr. Telford that he learned. And when he said, when Mr. Telford said that you want to welcome the land, next to the welcome the land, the cabinet conclusion. The cabinet conclusion. But I remember in growing up, my grandmother would always say, that little man inside, that little man inside, it will speak to us. When we say something that is not true and we do something that we're not supposed to do, the minute we do it, that little man inside was pull us up. And the little man inside was just pull us up. That what we call our conscience. That's what the listeners of everybody like that. Because Mr. Telford, I believe you are listening because I was listening to that program.
Of course he's listening.
When you said that some man will knock on the door to tell you that what you're saying is not true, I mean, come on. How could you make such a statement? To say the reason why the project couldn't do the project is because the previous government, in a bid to hold on to power, sold the land.
And you know, I've got the documents that actually shows the land, everything. I've got all of that, and I'm looking for it. I'm not sure where. Yeah.
Sheldon, you showed it numerous
Showed
times.
the schematics of the buildings, everything.
Mr. Jargo, I think he came on air and he said that the lands were not sold.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why do I do that? But again,
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
what we see, one lie, another lie have to cover the first lie, and another lie have to cover the second lie, and a liar will always be a liar, and a liar is always a liar. Because when you say is not going to go for a liar by the Prime Minister, I mean, come on, man. No. They ought to be better than that. They ought to be better than that. I tell you, I sat down.
Hello? The wireless seems to be giving some trouble. I am not sure if it is on my end or on your end, caller.
The project because he learned that the land was sold by the previous government in a bid to hold on to power. Well, okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Speak loudly. I know that.
The time coming.
I am right now. I am quite confident that the people will speak, and they will speak loud and clear.
All right, my dear. You know, there are some fishermen who might be able to get a house in that housing project. Yeah, there are some fishermen who may have been able to get a house in that housing project. They can't get it now because it don't exist. After how much millions of, so what happened to the millions of dollars? After how much millions of dollars? You ain't hearing nothing about it again. All of a sudden, they have nothing to say about Stony Gut now, you know. Yeah, they were trying to talk now. Folks, remember this, Remember this ceremony that take place and all this kind of titivation and all kind of thing there? Yeah, let me take that call there. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello. Oh boy, the caller is gone. Yes, folks. So only remember this particular project here. Yeah, this
will serve as a cultural landmark, educational resource, and recreational hub that will honor Grenadian heroes and inspire future.
And we have a caller on the line. Hello, good night. Hi, good night. How you doing?
Good night, sir.
I am quite fine.
First of all, I thought government was serious business. Government is not something that people should play with, as a matter of fact. When you put yourself up for political office, you should be serious because you're going to be dealing with the people's affair. The people putting you in position of as guide to the resources of the country. And so when you get glad, because you're elected, you're glad, and all you do is pause and show yourself instead of doing the people's work. It's a shame. Now, when a government is in power, they're supposed to be doing things for the betterment of the people and the country. So, like, you want to build a piece of road, you want to fix Marbury Road, let's put it like that. This is not a favor you're doing us. You're not taking the money to fix Marbury Road. This is government money to fix Marbury Road. But apart from that, there are many other things that's supposed to be done in our constituency. What's about all the promises you made to the people? What's about the persons who live in understep? People who live in under a house, that you promised that you're going to give houses to. And from since you promised, you made those promises, you never return. So nobody see you. Nobody hear about you. You disappear. And you promise now and say, well, okay, you could adjust like an airport hostess. You understand? So that is to say, to hell with the persons who elect you into power and you want to do things your way. We don't want members of parliament who do things their way. We want members of parliament who keep their promises. Let us look at the Woodford, Monvilla situation. Mondo, you may not know, and Monvilla, these are family areas, right? Where the lifeblood of the community, the people of Woodford, Cotton, Concord, depends on those places for agricultural produce. And the third thing, the farmers they have to take at one point in time, not as I speak, but at one point, the farmers had to take 1 hour to move their produce. And when you speak to the minister, all they do is just laugh and pose as though you know what I mean, they're above everybody else. We need proper representation in this community. You understand? We don't need people to pose. And the question for the minister, when are you going to show up? When will you show up and be the minister for the constituency that you're representing and not for yourself and your cronies? Have a nice night, Shalom.
All right, thank you very much. And just seeing some messages there from some of the listeners that they were having a problem hearing some of the callers. I am not sure why that is so. I'm hearing clearly here, but I am not sure why you all are getting that feedback. Okay, it could be this. Yeah, I'm not sure why you all are getting that feedback, but let me see if. Okay, I think I may have solved that issue. I hope that I've solved that issue. Yeah, I do hope that I've solved that issue. Yes, folks. Because I couldn't check the messages while I was playing the videos. Yes, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I was showing you Heroes Park and so on. And these were Heroes Park like today. The day I passed along there today. Bush. That's not the same thing. They are all kind of fancy thing and go and put thing on the mud in the back. They bush. Crab. Bush. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Heroes Park, man. Yeah. I tell you, these people, because a lot of you that are out there in the diaspora may have believed that here was already developed because they went and they did big launch. So you may have thought that what you're seeing there, that area was developed now into Heroes Park because they make big announcement. They say how much money they've put aside for it. They say all the things that they're going to be doing there. You wouldn't believe that there's a situation with it right now, eh? That a day in bush, pretty soon to be high bush. Yeah, a day in bush. That's the situation with that project now. Yeah, that's the situation with that project. As of today, they can't tell me I went and taped it myself. I had reason to be in the area and I went and taped it. Yeah, so that is that is Heroes Park right now. The Heroes Park, man. Bush. I don't know if Bush is the hero. Maybe they'll clean it up when they're ready to go and sell saltfish there. When they're ready to go and sell saltfish there again, they'll go clean it up. Yeah? Dry season, no. And you look at Bush Day. When they're ready to go and put up tent to sell saltfish there again, they'll go clean it, man. They'll go clean it. When they're ready to go and sell saltfish there again. That is when they're going to go and clean that particular area. Yeah? The caller ask about something. He talk about something. They only want to hear it again. Let me hear it again, man. Yeah. We operated like it's Halloween and all kind of thing already. Yeah.
And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status. And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status. And so I was very eager to come dressed as a flight attendant because I think that is my new status.
Yeah, people are saying, John, that's your MP. Yeah, that is your all MP. Yeah, that is your all MP. And I want to deal with two issues before I run out of time tonight. I may end up having to go a little after 10. I want to deal with a lie that has been put out by the NDC administration regarding employment. Yeah? And okay, somebody's telling me that again there. So I'm not sure what is happening there with the audio and the callers. The audio, the music, and the callers is coming through the same machine. So I'm not sure why it happened. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm gonna see what happens when the next person calls. We're gonna see what happens there with that. Now let me deal with this one first, and then I'm gonna deal with the employment issue last, because the employment issue is gonna take a little while to go through. So let me deal with this one first. Now, where did I put that? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now I have to send this across. Yeah, I have to send that across. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me just play this one.
NLP, don't waste no time. We throw in and they say in the garbage can.
I think I found the problem. Yeah.
We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. Till boy in the garbage, full of ton in the garbage, Alin in the garbage, Nazim in the garbage, Gilbert in the garbage, Osbert in the garbage.
Yeah, my hand knocked a particular button here and it was up a little too high. That's why the audio was sounding like that. Yeah, it is supposed to be down here, and yeah, that's why. So I think it should be okay now.
We don't want no hijackers to hijack grenade again. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. Dennis in the garbage, Glennis in the garbage, Chuck Prime in the garbage, Ingrid in the garbage, Walker in the garbage, Peter in the garbage, Michael Chuck in the garbage, Tilboy in the garbage. Look through the whole country, improvement for all of we. Even a blind man could see that NLP working for we. We don't want no hooligan.
Now, over the past few days, the MP for South St. George has been doing some videos. So I see he did a video that came out. Yeah, he did a video there the other day. Let me see. Let me see. We go look at the video. You know, yeah, we go give him a little live. We go play a little video for him and thing. Yeah, let me play a little video and thing there.
We are now in Benji Bay. Right, this portion here, we have done this portion already. Asphalt, because the people couldn't come out and do some work on the road there with the asphalt. But this part here is left to be done. We started by putting some of the fireworks on it, or sometime last year, and we'll be looking to see what we can do to remedy the situation on the second half of the Benji Bay. Make it easier for residents to traverse on without.
All right. So what he's saying there, because if you look at the script, oh, but you may not be able to see the script. I wonder if I get it like this and bring it up. Let me see if I could enlarge in that. No, I can't. But on the script for this video, it says, for some time, work in Benji Bay, Woburn, has faced delays due to challenges with asphalt supply, slowing progress on the road. Residents have been waiting for. So that's the statement that's made there. But the story doesn't end with there. With those issues being addressed, we are preparing to continue construction soon, moving forward with a proper road that will improve access and daily life in the community. So that is the statement that is made along with this particular video. Yeah, we need to see you and here we have to see. That is unimportant to what we're discussing here. And today, CCCI issued a press statement refuting some of what the minister is saying there. Because according to CCCI, what has taken place is that they provided, on the request of the minister himself, CCCI provided a contractor with the asphalt to do that particular road. They provided the first set of asphalt for which they needed to be paid and for which they still have not been paid up to now, $170,499.23. In fact, let me pull the press release up for you to see for yourself. Yeah? So, CCCI, Consolidated Contractors Company Caribbean Incorporated, and it is dated today, the 17th of April 2026. CCCI wishes to address recent public statements made by the Minister of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation regarding the road project at Benji Bay, Woburn. Because remember, CCCI are the only people that could provide asphalt right now. You have other people setting up the asphalt plant and things, but as it is right now, it's only CCCI. The minister has indicated on various media platforms, including Facebook, that the project is currently at a standstill due to a lack of asphalt supply. CCCI considers it necessary in the interest of transparency and accuracy to set the record straight. CCCI confirms that the minister personally requested that the company supply asphalt to a local contractor for use on the Benji Bay Woburn project. In response to that request, CCCI supplied asphalt for the project in the first instance. However, payment for the asphalt supplied was not made. An outstanding balance in the sum of EC $170,449.23 remains due and owing to CCCI. Despite repeated efforts, the minister has refused to satisfy the outstanding amount. As a result, CCCI was left with no alternative but to discontinue further supply of asphalt for the project. CCCI wishes to make it clear that it has never refused and does not refuse to supply asphalt. The company remains ready and willing to supply any quantity of asphalt as required by any party requesting same. However, CCCI cannot continue to operate under circumstances where substantial sums for materials already supplied remain unpaid. CCCI therefore calls on the minister to settle the outstanding balance so that the company can continue to support the ministry's transformation agenda and contribute to the timely completion of works that are intended to bring ease and benefit to the people of Benji Bay, Woburn. CCCI remains committed to responsible business practices and to partnering in the development of national infrastructure once fair and reasonable commercial obligations are honored. So you're out there saying that it have a problem in relation to asphalt. For the thing, there is asphalt available, but all you ain't pay. And if all you ain't pay, the people ain't giving all you more asphalt because all you don't pay. So when you pay, you're going to get the asphalt. Yeah? When you pay, you will get the asphalt. That is as much as they're saying right now. Yeah? When you pay them, they will set you up nicely. Alright? So pay the people and them. Give them the 100 and something thousand that all you have for them. And you all could get the next set of asphalt to complete the road. So it is not the supplier that is the problem. It's the government. Yeah? Not the supplier. The government is the problem. Because all you're dealing with a set of volley. Ask Lucian what that means. It's a bunch of volley in government here. Only volleying thing. No, not the pastor up in St. David. Volley as in, yeah. And folks, from a very reliable source, I've just been informed, because I realized that the ministry is waiting until this program is finished before they put out the notice of the new petroleum price. Remember, that price takes effect tomorrow. It is now nearly 9:45 at night, and you have not been informed. But hear what? If you can, go and fill your vehicle tonight, because from what I have learned, it is going up to $17 a gallon. $17 a gallon for gasoline, $17 a gallon for diesel. That is what I have heard. I have not seen official documentation for that, because as usual, they're waiting until talking points finish before they can publish that information. If you're going 6 o'clock in the morning to a gas station to take fuel, you're going to be paying at the new price, which the government, up to minutes to 10 tonight, before you go to bed, have not told you what it's going to be. From what we are picking up here at Talking Points, directly from one of the gas stations themselves, we are hearing that the new cost is going to be $17 from $15.18. It's moving to 17. But they're so shame, because remember, the new National Party was giving you at 15, a whole $2 less. But they take it out, and then what did they say? Why give you for why charge you more when you could give you for less? Well, maybe they might be asking themselves that same question right now. But folks, I'm going to take a few minutes now to go through something here with you. Huh? Now, there are these letters that are going out by the government of Grenada right now. They have gone out over the past few weeks. These letters have been going out to the people in the different, like for instance, the Ministry of Education. They've received this letter on regularization. What they're calling regularization, which in truth and in fact is not regularization. And I'll explain in a moment. The Ministry of Education hereby informs that the regularization exercise is now in its final stage as part of the process and consistent with the approved 2026 manpower guidelines. The regularization exercise supports the discontinuation of issuing contracts for established or non-mission critical roles. The regularization exercise is scheduled for completion by July 31st, 2026. They go hold that over all your head while they call election. Principals are advised that this process now seeks to regularize all unestablished officers, that is, contracted personnel, officers with ministry letters of appointment, officers with no instruments, as well as Imani trainees. Please note that in the case of officers who are functioning in roles where there are truly vacant positions to which they can be appointed, they will receive PSC appointments, Public Service Commission appointments. In cases where there are no positions on the establishment, officers will receive permanent letters from the Secretary to the Cabinet. To ensure that the ministry can make its submission to the Department of Public Administration in a timely manner, principals are advised to ensure that the necessary documentation is submitted by the relevant officers to the ministry by April 2nd, 2026. This includes birth and marriage certificates, picture identification, police record, updated curriculum vitae, certified copies of qualifications, national insurance card, and 2 testimonials. Yeah, they had to get testimonials and things. Kindly note the following: cooks, cleaners, watchmen, clerk, typists at the primary level are expected to submit all documents except the police record. Clerks, typists at secondary schools must submit all documents. Every submission must be accompanied by a completed snapshot report. The Ministry of Education expresses gratitude to all school leaders for the support in completing the regularization exercise. Folks, this is not regularization. While it may not be considered a contract, what these people are getting is a sort of tenuous sort of document that creates a parallel system to the public service. Now, they have thrown out the door the one public service talk that you were hearing all the time leading up to election, and we will discuss it more on Monday, but I'm getting into it now. Remember, they made the statements that there should be one public service and not 2. What they are creating here are, again, 2 public services. So they're not really making any change except the type of engagement, the type of document that you're going to be holding is going to be different. So you have people, some people will be going into established positions. When you say an established position is a position that is contained in the budget document. So if you're going through the budget document, and as I've said to you, the budget document is much more than the speech that the minister delivers. It's a thick document. I was looking there to see if I do have copies here. The budget document is a much thick document, and it says there for each ministry, drivers, secretary, typists, it may have youth officer, sports officer, all those things. They are established positions, and as such, to get those positions, you must go through the Public Service Commission, and they would confirm a person into that position. Now, people who are confirmed into those positions, if they make the required number of years in the public service and they've attained the age, these people can receive the 1958 pension. The majority of people that they are now going to be given these cabinet secretary letters to, these people are not being regularized. They are being placed in a parallel service to the public service, which is what the unions have been fighting against and fighting against for years under various leaders. They've been saying, no, we want one public service. Yeah? They have been saying that they would do that, one public service. And they're just trying to bamboozle people now, because the letter that you're giving from the cabinet secretary is not like you're under the Public Service Commission. None of you, regardless of how long you've been working and so on, will be eligible for the 1958 pension. They cut you out of that. And in many instances, you won't technically even be viable for the new pension scheme. Let me repeat that. Because according to what has been put out there, you will not be able even to qualify for the new pension scheme that is being put in place. Legally. They may very well be taking money, because I've spoken to some people who said, hey, these people taking money for this new pension scheme out of my salary every month. But I hope that many of you know that legally, really and truly, you may not be able to get anything under that new pension scheme. Yeah, really and truly, you may not be able to get anything under that new pension scheme. And let me go here to the document. It's the new pension scheme document to explain what I was mentioning there. Yeah? Because the majority of people now, the Imani trainees, the majority of folks will not be going into the public service. They will be given a thing called a cabinet secretary letter. That's what they're giving to these people. They are not confirming these people into any positions. The only people that will be confirmed in positions are the people that are being referred to through the Public Service Commission. the other people will not be receiving any such confirmation. So they are not regularizing. If the government really was serious about regularizing, what they would have had to do was redo the positions that exist and are budgeted under the yearly budget. They would have had to create new positions within different ministries. And then through the Public Service Commission, they would have had to appoint these people to those new positions. So if you know you have 4 drivers in a ministry, 2 of the drivers are under the budget. They are there under the budget as positions that are there on the budgeted position. They are budgeted position. So they are an established position. And you had 2 drivers who are unestablished. All they had to do was go in now and say, hey, we are expanding those under the established. We are creating 2 more positions there because the ministry has expanded. We need more drivers. So therefore, we need to add 2 positions there. You all understand where I'm coming from? So for those of you who are there and wondering, well, hey, what is taking place with me? These people are telling me that they're giving me a cabinet. That is not, you're not being regularized. They are doing that because they're trying to say that they kept a campaign promise and they regularize you. They are not regularizing you. That is what the president of the Public Workers Union was speaking about. These people are not actually regularizing you. And let me see if I can pull up, first of all, on the new pension fund. Let me see if I could pull up that section. It should be section 21. Yeah, it should be section 21, I believe, of this new act that would say a bit of what I'm speaking to, you know. I spoke to a good friend of mine to get this information. No, that is the wrong one. Yeah, that's the wrong one. I have the wrong one up. This is Act 19 of 2024. Folks, I'm just trying to get the correct section for you here that deals, because it says here, and I could read it off my phone. The provisions of this act shall not apply to employees of the government who are employed in the public service on a contractual basis, whether fixed term or otherwise, and who by virtue of the terms and conditions of their contract are eligible to receive a gratuity. Employees of the government who are currently employed in the public service for a period exceeding 15 years and are 50 years of age or older. Those are people who don't qualify for the new pension. Yeah? Those are people that do not qualify for the new pension. Let me just pull it up here. Right, so let me see. Let me just get it here. Yeah, let me just play this and then out here.
Long live the national party. You don't know right about the whole of the country land now. And everybody voting for NFP. Listen, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So I'm saying 21 is 2E. Yeah, I really had to change our glasses now. Yeah. The provisions of this act shall not apply to. So these are the people that will not be able to benefit under this new pension scheme. Employees of the government who are employed in the public service on a contractual basis. What they are giving you is a contract, whether fixed term or otherwise, and who by virtue of the term and conditions of their contract are eligible to receive a gratuity. Yeah? So those people who are getting this thing now, they will not be able to benefit from the new pension, as some people just call it, the Susu pension that government has put in place. Employees of the government who are currently employed in the public service for a period exceeding 15 years and are 50 years of age or older. So these people as well, if you've already worked for 15 years in an unestablished position and you're 50 years or older and they come and they give you one of this thing now, you still cannot qualify for the new pension, and you still wouldn't qualify for the old pension either unless they put you in a PSC, Public Service Commission post. They have to put you in a Public Service Commission post in order for you to be able to get the 1958 pension. Yeah? Temporary employees, persons who are seconded from statutory bodies or agencies of government that have their own pension arrangement. And it says further, for the avoidance of doubt, the law to be applied with respect to the payment of pensions, gratuities, and other allowances to a public officer, a teacher, police officer, or prison officer who has been so employed prior to the date of operation of this act and is eligible to receive a pension, gratuity, or other allowance shall be the relevant enactment which applies to such public officer, teacher, police officer, or prison officer, save and except where such public officer, teacher, police officer, or prison officer opts for the provision of this act to apply to them in this regard in accordance with section 6.3. So folks, let me say this to you as well. Those of you who are in those categories that I just mentioned, if you realize from your salary they are removing money towards this pension plan, they're operating illegally, because you have to agree to become part of this new pension plan. Other than that, the existing pension plan that you have as a public officer, as a police officer, as a prison officer, etc., that pre-existing, a teacher, that pre-existing pension plan is the only place that you're supposed to be getting a pension from. If you decide that, yes, I want to be part of the new pension plan, you can say so and they can add you to that. But they are not supposed to be, because I know many of you that are taking your money for it. They are not supposed to be taking money out of your salary towards the new pension plan. In fact, you could ask them to pay you back, because the law says they're not supposed to be doing that. But folks, outside of this, they've been making a statement, and I think a lot of people get fooled by that statement, that unemployment has gone down in Grenada, and that's not the case. What they have done, and they're speaking about they haven't seen unemployment levels this low. Remember, they went to Parliament and they said everybody under the age of 18 years of age has to be in school. So you're talking about on a yearly basis, we may have 2,000-3,000 young people that leave the school system. That was previously, because you have many young people that leave secondary school and they don't go to TAMCC, they don't go to NULO. They go and they try and find jobs. Sometimes, guys, they go try to find job on a construction site. They go and get a job with some entity or so on at the age of 16, 17, that sort of thing. All the 16-year-old and 17-year-olds who were within the job market, those people are no longer considered employable, because the law was changed in Grenada to say that all people under the age of 18 have to be considered as students. All. So immediately, the thousands of young people that would have been recorded as unemployed because they're not going to school, they're looking for a job and they can't find a job, those young people are not considered to be unemployed now. They have now been categorized as students because they're supposed to be in school according to the government. So when they give their figures to the IMF, when they give their figures to the World Bank, when they give their figures to the Caribbean Development Bank and whoever else, they are giving figures that before they changed the law and said everybody under the age of 18 has to be in school, 18 and under has to be in school. You can only start to work when you pass the age of 18. So everybody 18 and under, many of whom you might pass on the blocks right now because they completed secondary school, they ain't go to tertiary, they ain't go to TAMCC or SGU or anything like that. They're looking to go and find a little job. They're looking to go and find a little pankwa, a little pull on, hold on somewhere. they would have been considered before to be part of the job market. So these were people that if they were not working and actively seeking work were considered to be unemployed. And they contributed to what the unemployment figure for Grenada would have been before. But since they changed the law as relates to school, these people cannot be considered unemployed. All of them are students. So you all understand how they're fudging the figures. And then they come to you and say unemployment has never been that low. Unemployment has never been that low because of how you all have structured it right now. Not because we all know there are no major projects being done in Grenada from the NDC community except the Send Home project. There has been no major project that they brought in and you could look at and say, well, that hire 50 people, that hire 60, that hire 200 or 600. No projects that you can point to and say that they have been able to hire piles of people in those projects. Yeah? Even now, for the construction that's taking place post-Hurricane Ivan and so on, Beryl, not Ivan, but post-Hurricane Beryl, the construction and so on. Those are people who were already in the construction field. Except in Karakuya, a man that never do construction and so on, all of a sudden they're into construction. But that's beside the point for tonight. So you all understand where they kind of fudging and trying to trick us and using a ruse on us with the unemployment figures. All of a sudden you have that category. Now imagine how many young people left school between 2022 and now. If you say each year, let's look at a lower figure and say each year 1,500 young people left. And that is a low figure, very low, because I know it's definitely more than that. But let's use the figure of 1,500. So you have 1,500 2022, 2023. You have another set that leave again. So that is 3,000 already. Yeah? And then you add another 15. So that is 4,500. You add another 15 to that. And you have got now to 6,000 in it. So you had a possible 6,000 young people that could have been considered, out of them, you would have a significant amount that would have been considered unemployed. The girls who are at home, the boys who are at home, unemployed. But because they simply made that one change, everybody had to go to school up until age 18. All of these people, 18 and under, have to be considered as students and not employable. So they cannot be counted among the unemployed. So understand the trick that they're using to try and make the self look good. You know, you're seeing. You see any new facilities open that hire in a pile of people and so on? You see any massive businesses opening or any big companies coming in and taking large amounts of people? But consider the thousands of young people that have left the school system over the last few years. At least under the new National Party, they'd have got the training opportunity under Imani or to be able to start their own small business or something like that. They'd have opportunities to say, well, okay, I'll stay in that program for a while until something else comes up, or I might get some training to go out and do my own business. But now, nothing like that exists. So understand where they're trying to trick you. But folks, as I said, we're going to deal with that one a lot more on Monday. They feel less smart. They think they're smart. Yeah? Because all you have to remember, look, let me show you that. Yeah. Just for those of you that may have forgotten. The Education Amendment 2024, of 2024. So all them young people who was working at that point in time, they are considered students and all kind of thing now. Yeah. So the amendment was a simple one. Yeah, where they changed the compulsory age for school by deleting the word 16 where it appears and substituting therefore the word 17. Yeah? So 18 and above, you're considered as employable. Under that, you are considered student. Yeah? So that is how they changed the law, and now they're tricking you. Well, they're tricking some people. I end up they're tricking you, but they're tricking some people with it. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight and this week. It's been wonderful being here with you. Those of you that can, we hope that you do donate. And those of you that have donated, we want to thank you also very much. Folks, that's all the time we have for tonight, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. But before I leave, let me just remind you all, there is barbecue taking place tomorrow. What do you think for the barbecue, Papa? Yeah. That's Mel's. Yeah. All you have to check out Mel's. Yeah, call the number 404. I'll give you the story one of these days. We Papa, I'll try and help out this youth. Yeah, 404-8090. Yeah, delivery or pickup is available. Call. They have barbecue chicken, pork, fish. You understand? Call and get your thing. Right? Mel's Blessed Hands Catering. Barbecue luncheon is taking place tomorrow. Call and order your thing. Right? Support. When I say support, you know it's the support. 404-8090. Give her a call. So folks, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. I am out. Love you all.
Hey yo, Killer T. Well, I'm living the national party. You don't know right about the whole of the country land now. And everybody voting for NMP. Listen, man. Stadium. And I vote for to touchdown. But tell me if the money can done. They have been jogging on the ground. They say you get briefcase of money, but it's to help the country. So tell me where Uncle Tilly, he don't have no heart for we. So tell me why we vote Tilly. He can't do nothing to help we. He making it no hard and we hope we can strive under it. So make sure you vote NNP. We don't vote in no NDC. So take your right wave with me. We waving for NNP.